Log on to www.93.9 Wkys.com to view my exclusive video blog in which
Okay. Musiq Soul Child.
Yeah.
We were talking a little bit ago, and you were talking about your travels. And you said you don't listen to just one kind of music. How has your travels affected the kind of music that you listen to and make?
Simply because I like music, period. You know, R&B or soul music or neo soul music, you know, and hip hop music comes naturally to me because that's what I was raised listening to. I grew up listening to, rather. But I mean, there's all these other genres out there. You know, there's jazz music. There's of course there's gospel music. There's blues music. There's reggae and Latin, Caribbean, Latin, and there's electronic music, rock music, punk rock music. There's all of these different genres of music that I'm always consistently inspired by. So I've always just been trying to find a way to just, I don't know, just make it fresh, make it funky, and it's all going to be under the umbrella of being soulful. But I always wanted to, you know, entertain those ideas, man, because it's like it's certain things that comes with the territory of making music in those genres that you don't get to do in R&B, you know. I mean, unless if you do, I mean, at least if you do it, then people start looking at you weird, like, you know, okay, this is not classic R&B. It's like, well, it's not.
Like Kanye, what are you doing, Kanye
you know,
West? Wait a minute.
It's still music, man.
Right.
It's still music, you know. And it may not be for you, but it's still music.
And Kanye's went through the same thing because his new album, he's not even rhyming on the whole thing.
Yeah,
auto-tune
no
the whole
breaks.
thing.
I love it though. I love it though. I love it simply just thematically. I love it because he was bold enough to do it, you know. And the fact that he's doing it, it's like it's setting the standard and pushing it. It's upgrading the standard, but it's pushing things that much further so that people don't feel, or at least inspiring people to think and feel like they don't have to keep doing the same stuff all the time because there's way too much to do out there.
Right.
Yeah. So
did you ever feel like you were going to take that kind of a chance and move away from the direction of just being, of course, you're a soul child?
Well, the thing is, this is the thing. I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing. I just want to add to it.
Right.
That's all. That's all.
Okay, so you mentioned some other genres of music in this last piece. Is there one genre of music that you feel like that I want to do this kind of soulful type of album plus this?
I'm interested to see how soulful I can be by making punk rock music.
Oh, really?
I want to see if I can make soulful punk rock music. I'm really interested in that. Because in my shows, I get a little rowdy, you know, and it'd be borderline, you know, going in that direction. So I want to know what it's like if I actually went in the studio and made soulful punk rock music. I mean, that probably won't happen anytime soon, but I just want y'all to know that I'm interested in doing something like that. So if it happens and you hear it, you know that I mentioned it. Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that you are a cat that's not afraid to take those chances, and you're not in the box, man. You were so outside of the box.
But people always want to put me in the box.
Why does that happen in America so much?
I don't know,
because
man.
in Germany, in London,
if you go anywhere outside
Jamaica,
the country, it's not like that. But I don't know. I don't know. But I'm not going to sit here and try to ask, you know, why. I'm just going to do my best to contribute to making it otherwise. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. So you talked about your travel. Let's talk about the places that you've gone.
I've been to Germany, I've been to Jamaica, I've been to London, you know, the UK. I've been to...
How is it in London, man?
Oh, it's dope. It's fresh.
As far as the music scene, I visited...
Oh, it's just wide open because so much go through there. You know, so much is going on out there. Of all the places that I've been, though, that I love the most, is Japan.
You performed out there?
Yeah.
Where at? Talk to me about that.
I performed in Yokohama. I performed in Nagoya. At the Blue Note out there. I performed in Osaka. I performed in...
How did they receive you though, man?
Was
it wild?
Yes.
No black faces.
Yes, and that was a culture shock, dude. I got off the plane and I went into town and all I saw was nothing but them.
Right.
That was beautiful, yo.
And they knew all your songs.
Yeah, and they knew all my songs, word for word. Most of them couldn't speak English, but they knew how to, you know, pronounce the words, I guess, by listening to it enough times. And they would be at the shows and they would be singing it word for word, and that was beautiful.
The power of music.
Yeah.
The power of music.
Yeah, I love Japan. So
where in London would you perform?
I performed at what's it called? Oh, I always go there, and I can't remember it right now. It's a theater out there.
More help us.
I can't help it. I can't remember. It's called the I can't remember right now, but
So
I usually go there.
How was the soul music scene?
I was at the Soul Cafe. I know that much, but that's not the place. That's not the venue I was talking about. But I was at the Soul Cafe actually for like a week, in a row. So that was actually pretty fresh, and a few other places. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was your question, man?
It's cool. So how was the soul scene in London? Now, people in London, they have a very deep appreciation for classic and new soul as well.
It's a culture of music that they call rare grooves, and basically what it is basically digging in the crates for like old school vibes, and anybody I guess from like the 70s or even the 80s or even the 60s for that matter, will be a part of that category of what they would classify as rare grooves, and it's like, there's a lot of UK artists that came out at that time as well that was trying to do what we were doing over here around that time.
I met the dude Omar.
Omar is dope.
Yes, sir. That's my man.
Omar
I love that dude.
Dope,
man. I love that dude.
Yo, big shout out to Omar. Yo, I was heavily inspired by Omar, in my development years, I guess, if you can call it. Him, D'Angelo, Rasan Patterson, Maxwell, Eric Benet, all of them cats. Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott. Even in Philly, I used to always, come to her open mic situations that she had in Philly. And I used to look up to her. I still do look up to her. Big shout out to Jill Scott.
Man.
And she would help me out, as far as helping me to gain a better perspective, a more confident perspective, because I was a little standoffish with performing or whatever, because I'm not gonna say I had low self-esteem, but the humility was such a big deal in my life that I never let myself get too big, for myself to think that I was the stuff too much, that I couldn't, that my stuff didn't stink.
Right.
So, but she would let me know, like, yo, man, you're dope. Well, just go ahead and just do you, Just go out there and let people know who you are. You should be straight. And I just took that, now, and thankfully enough, she had a situation where it was a forum for people to come and showcase their talents. So I would go there, and she would always encourage me to get on stage and just do me. So yeah.
Philadelphia is so special.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Thank God for Philadelphia.
Yeah, but see, I started moving around, and I've learned to appreciate Philadelphia by recognizing, because I used to think that it was that way everywhere else, because I didn't really travel that much, in my younger years. So all I knew was Philly, and all I knew what was going on in Philly, and I just figured it was like that everywhere else. But it wasn't until I traveled I started realizing, like, wow, this is really not that way everywhere else. But there are other places that are that way in their own way. Places like Atlanta and Detroit and Dallas, and even here, DC.
Right, with the go-go.
Yeah, yo, go-go is fresh. Go-go is fresh.
Who would you want to get down with? Red Essence, Chuck Brown, who?
Yep, of course, but I don't really know all the names. I don't really know all the names. I'm still, new
Chuck
to the go-go scene, but Chuck is definitely the godfather.
I can see you getting down with Backyard.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Big G.
So definitely, I would love to work with anybody, man. That's the thing. I can't get there if people just keep expecting me to just make these ballads all the time.
Right. But back to Philadelphia, man. I think that it is simply amazing, the pool of talent that you got coming out of one city. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
you got Jill Scott, you got the Roots. I mean,
even people that are not getting as much recognition as they should.
Jasmine Sullivan was there with you guys.
Yeah, Jasmine Sullivan. She's basically like the baby of the whole situation. She's like the last one that came out of that whole explosion.
Right. You got King Britt. Hold on.
Yeah, you got
Ursula Rucker. Come on.
Rucker, you got Carol Riddick. You got Lady Alma. You got Jaguar Wright. You got Bilal. You got Hezekiah.
How did all this happen?
All these people, man, I don't know. That's what I say. I cannot stand here and give you an explanation.
I wish we could say that about DC. I mean, we got our own thing, but man, Philadelphia.
Yeah, I really couldn't give you an explanation, because it was such a part of my life that I just took it as a given, But every day things are defining themselves to me as to, that I can attribute to whatever was going on in Philly, like the sound of Philadelphia and how it was cultivated back in the day with Gans and Huff. Yeah, so I can attribute it, it to that. But But then I start thinking, then where did they get it from? You know,
Right.
for them to for it to be so prominent in Philadelphia and not another town. So I don't know, man. All I know is it's here, and I just do my best to do right by it and maintain the legacy of it.
You do that very well.
Thank
I'm in
you.
stores right now.
Yeah,
on my radio.
radio.
Another classic, man. Final question, man. At the end of the day, what do you want people to know about you as an artist and your music?
I'm an artist first. You know, I'm a businessman by default, but I'm an artist first. So anything under the umbrella of being creative and artistic, I'm going to pursue that. You know, positively, of course, with the intention to inspire, to represent and serve as a muse for people through music first, but just artistically in general. And hopefully, people will be willing to support me and follow me in my pursuit of bringing creativity to the world.